welcome to week 16 of 16 of our Cork City Marathon training plan. And for the last ever episode of this plan, I am joined by the full lot of the Runner's Diary crew.
It's like the A team.
The A team with Andy included. And
I won't say who's Mad Murdoch, but you
so
might be
we are
you.
joined by
Definitely Damian.
by our coaching supreme, Mr. Ken Nason. How are you?
Very good.
Excellent. A returning regular from probably about a month off, Brian Hearn. How are things?
Good. Back with the stopwatch, keeping an eye on you
Month
now.
off.
Excellent. And our new Runner's Diary correspondent, Mr. Andy Goulding. How are you?
Fabulous, lads. Fabulous.
Excellent. Lads, it's great to be here. Week 16. It is, I can't believe we actually got the full 16 out and pretty much on time as well, which I think is even more impressive with the amount of sugar that's going on at the moment. So it's great to have us all here for the last one. So we're going to start where we start with every episode. Ken, it's over to you to give us the plan for the last week.
Oh God. It's the last week. Yes, week 16. Ready to chill, relax, taper completely. So Monday, no run as normal per plan. We're going to put a little workout on Tuesday just to get the legs turning over. We're going to do a 10-minute easy warm-up, 3 by 1 minute with 2 minutes recovery, about 75% effort. Purpose of that is just to get the legs working and pretending to the body that it's doing a bit of work. And we're going to do a 10-minute warm down after that.
Honestly, thought he was going to do it for the last
1
day.
week out
I
of the
honestly
16,
thought
come
he
on.
was going to do it like Jesus, I tell you.
Wednesday, we're going to do 15-20 minutes easy. Thursday, Friday, we're going to chill, relaxed. And at that stage, I don't want anybody cutting the grass, painting their houses, doing anything. Leave it to the person who's not running, because that's the time you'll hurt something and you won't be able to race. Saturday, 10-minute easy jog or walk just to get the legs moving the day before the race. And Sunday, race, rock and roll.
Stay off the pint Saturday night.
Yeah, that too.
You can have them on Sunday at the after party.
You can have them Sunday at the after party. Now, I do think that it's very important to people to realize this week, again, if you've, and we've said this last week, if you've run 4 days, you run 4 days this week, but you just cut it way back. And obviously one of those days is the marathon on the Sunday. Very important. This is the final week. This is the week you're going to be as cranky as Brian is every single day of the week. And, so bear with it, right? And I will say this much, make sure you tell your better half that you're going to be cranky just so that they know what's going on. Andy, how was this week always for you?
Yeah, on edge, nervous. I think the big thing for this week is sleep and rest. Yeah. It's vital. You're not going to sleep the night before the marathon, probably. So Friday night is probably actually your most important night's sleep of the week.
Yeah. Brian, you went through it only recently.
Yeah.
What was it like for you?
Just trying to get everything right. I think for people, like, again, planning, we've spoke about planning a lot over the whole 16 weeks. Like, so again, plan your fueling early in the week, get things organized, your hydration, electrolytes if you're taking them. Sleep is something actually I always struggle with big time. So,
but you struggle with that anyway on a general basis anyway. So you're used to that. So it makes it. It's like, don't change anything the week of a race, and that's always been for you anyway as well. So, if you don't sleep that regularly, don't expect to sleep the week of a marathon either, do you know what I mean, any more so than you do. Let me just let Brian there pass out there for a second.
I'm in shock.
Yeah, but look, we touched on it there, Brian, and I think it's very important for people to realise, of course, we have the after party in Deep South afterwards, all right, where the 4 of us and so many more will be at. Now, there was one question that came in about the after party already, and that question was, is it a ticketed party, or is it open to everybody? This party is open to anybody once you get in there early enough. And what I mean by that is, last year they had to close the doors at a time because it actually was so many people inside there. So get in early. Brian, you have, obviously we have a great first prize. One of our main prizes, Do you want to announce what that is again?
Yeah, so we have 16 weeks coaching by Karen McKeown. We have Bentley Smith, who was on with us before, a nutritionist, so he's going to give us a plan again to go with that. So it's a 16-week nutrition plan. And we have 2 sessions. Give me the name again. 2 sessions
In
with
Performance Lab.
Performance Lab.
So it is 2 sessions of the VO2 testing, which will be done, one at the start and one kind of at a later date, so you can see how you're getting on. Now, I will say this much. I am hoping that the person who enters this and wins this will also kind of do a little bit of either a kind of a little blog for us every once in a while to keep us up to date how you're getting on. So this is going to be a separate draw on the day, all right? And I'm encouraging people, if you don't have any intentions, and I mean this, of having given us any feedback, don't enter it, because we'd like people to give us feedback, because we want to see, you know, the progression, how they get on and everything like that. So we'll talk more about that in the podcast anyway. Another competition prize we have is we have 3 months in District Gym in Silver Springs. Another prize we have is, I think, Brian, is it a 2-night stay in, I think, in Limerick?
2 nights in the Clayton, Limerick, yep.
Limerick, that's another prize. We've just got another prize today from Bio Reach, who are giving us the first ever membership, a month's membership for the Bio Reach. It's the first time. They're going to be the first person who's doing it. They're introducing this soon, and this person is going to be the first person ever to get it. We've got hampers that we've got from Cliff and Power Bar, and that's just more. We're going to have more coming up soon enough as well. So like, we've loads of prizes, but you have to be there on the day. You're going to have to get your name into the draw inside there. So be in there nice and early. We will be there from roughly around 1 o'clock-ish. We'll be on and off the stage the whole time. So, you know, make sure you're in. It's going to be, I'm sure it's going to be a great event.
Check the watch there. Just check the watch.
Okay, no, we're moving on. Right. Okay, we're moving on. Well, last week we had a competition thanks to Ken Nason. All right, I'm speeding up here, right? To Ken Nason. We're going to check that winner right now, and here we go. And congratulations to the winner. Now, as there was one of the comments, Brian, I don't know if you have it in front of you. If you give me 1 second, there was a lovely comment from Tig, actually.
I love the way he drops me into it when he, you know.
I don't have it either. I was hoping you might have it. Okay, here it is from Tig O'Sullivan. Ken Nason, aka the Saw Doctor. So congratulations to the winner, who's going to get to see this, not the Saw Doctors, the Saw Doctor. So you're going to get to see him when you get it. Now, lads, competition. This is the last, obviously, week it is. So we are now have a prize thanks to Cork City Marathon. We are going to give the person who's going to win this the first entry for the 2025 Cork City Marathon. So you're going to be the first person who will get the entry for the Cork City Marathon for next year. All you have to do is subscribe and comment below. And what I'd like you to comment with this time, if you can, is what would you like to see us, as in this crew, do in the future with our YouTube video? So what advice would you like to see happening? What area would you like us to cover? Anything like that. So if you have any hints and tips for us, send them on to us. Andy, quickly, what would you like to see us do?
I suppose more of us, maybe keep Damian out.
More Andy.
More. I didn't want to say more me straight off the bat, like, you
know. Ken, anything off the top of your head?
Definitely cut about 5 minutes out of the talking you do.
Okay, right. And I love this as well. Get rid of Damian in all of these. And Brian, anything you?
Well, mine was going to be get rid of Damian, so yeah,
okay,
get rid of Damian.
And mine was actually, and mine was to actually do shoe reviews, lads. But anyway, look,
we're all fired.
Okay, question time. Brian, you have the questions in front of you. Let's try to keep this in time for Brian gives out to us.
Okay, first question.
To me anyway.
It's quite a good one, actually. And in fairness to Sam Coakley, has sent in a lot of questions over the week, so appreciate that. Thanks again, guys, for the last 16 weeks. Just real world knowledge and experience, not total bullshit. Hopefully, Ken might become the agony uncle for the Runner's Diary podcast. I think it's a good piece every week, Ken, if you could do that. Good. My last question, and it's a random one, so apologies. If you could go back in time, be it your first ever race or marathon, what would you have done differently or changed up? Good question.
Brian, I'd like to ask you, but you probably don't remember. You're so old.
It's black and white.
It's black and white. For me, Okay, my first race I ever did was with Jonathan, it's the Mallow 10 miler, right? So this is the one I would actually pick. And the reason I would pick it is because I wouldn't be so kind as in to run along the line, finishing line with Jonathan, that I would
Is
have
that the year Jonathan won?
that I would have sprinted, did 100 meters before him to actually have beaten him properly and not finished at the same time and him get ahead of me on, I don't know how he got ahead of me, but anyway, he did.
I think the
And
question really is like, what advice could you give people if you
yeah,
go back in time? Not beat Jonathan.
Yeah,
Like,
no. My voice is
Taking it personal,
take
Brian.
no prisoners and beat everybody in front of you in your first race and dip at the line if you have to. That's my advice to everybody. Give it everything at the end of your first race, and you'll enjoy it, and then you won't have to listen to it 15 or 10 years later still. All right, that's
Andy?
Thank God you've got over it.
Yeah, he's got over it.
I think, like, I'm looking from the marathon aspect, there's not a whole lot of change. I think I've learned from every marathon I've ran. So I've made mistakes, but I think by making the mistakes, you won't make them the next time. So
what would you change for your first marathon? Because you've obviously learned a lot, so you would change a lot from your first marathon. Is that like
train a lot more? But it was irrelevant at the time, like.
But no, that's what the question is. What would you change now, looking back at your first? If you were to talk to yourself when you started in your first race or first marathon, what would you change?
I suppose pay more attention to fueling, and I just know a lot more now. Like, if the fueling aspect wasn't there when I started, I wouldn't say shoes, but
I think fueling is more important than any shoes.
Consistency in the training.
I think this is more related to the marathon day itself as opposed to maybe, because like I think I would say training as well, but I think more to the marathon day. But Ken?
Okay, there's not a lot. You go out, you race your very first time. The biggest thing that you would change your very first time is not be afraid of failure, because if you're afraid of failure, then you won't try something, you won't try things, you're going to get better over time. But to be going out on the day and waking up the morning of the race, and if you say, oh Jesus Christ, I can't do this, you defeat yourself then. So go in there that morning and go, I can do this, and everything will work to plan.
Yeah, I know. I actually like that. Yeah, Brian.
Very good. Yeah, I think like if it was the whole marathon journey, I would say training would be the big, as in like more consistency, and would have been the answer. But I think in relation to the marathon itself, I probably would say fueling. Yeah, better fueling plan, which obviously has helped me recently as well. So yeah, mine would be fueling. Okay, we'll skip on to the next one. Well, I don't know if this is a real question or not. I have two comments. This comes in from a Jonathan Kennelly.
Oh, I don't know.
Mentioned
I like this
already.
guy.
I'm very disappointed none of you have ever got lost while running. Nothing better than going on a run in a new place and getting lost, right? So that's his comment number one. Comment number two, Damian is all talk. He didn't show up for a showdown in Fota, and now he has to face a challenge in my chosen discipline.
Okay, look, I didn't show up for because I was never signed up for
Jonathan said he's refusing to race Jonathan in a 10K in June.
But Jonathan's not doing 10K in June.
He is.
Cool it down or something, is it?
Cool it down.
Cool it down.
He said it. He finally said cool down.
I'm pronouncing it wrong.
He said cool down.
Cool down. He said it. We got it.
Oh yeah. You're going to use that now. I think.
Yeah.
But
cool it down, Ken. Cool it down,
right?
Cool it down.
He said that you're refusing to race him in that 10K, and he's asked you to race.
Surprised you didn't call it warm a gun or something like that.
I can if you
want. I'll come back to that. I'll come back to Jonathan with that.
Okay,
we'll come back to Jonathan.
We'll go on. This is a good one, and I think hopefully this person will turn up at the after party, because I think last year we looked for the person who travelled the furthest distance. So this person, which I believe is coming from Zimbabwe to run my first Cork Marathon, have been listening to our podcast. So we have a listener, which I believe all the way over in Zimbabwe. Have been listening to your podcast for the last few weeks. Great information for those running their first marathon. Look forward to hearing the last week. So no question, but just very nice to hear from someone.
That's lovely. And again, it is, and we say that it does actually, the comments actually make us very happy. And I know that sounds stupid, but it does to see him. So thanks very, very much. And we definitely hope to see you at the after party.
Now, we're listening to Damian Kennelly. We've heard from Jonathan Kennelly, but finally, the real man of the house and the real sensible man in that family, Father Jerk Kennelly, has sent in a comment, I think, to a question that came last week. So the question I think last week was about headphones. So Gerard's comment is too many runners are walking using headphones. Leave them at home.
He's
Very
dead right,
stern.
boy.
I can
He's
hear
dead right.
sternness
I
in his
can
text.
hear it and all. Great man. A legend of a man. Legend of a man. I would tell you now, myself and Johnny can learn a lot from him.
Next one from Olin Hagerty. Thanks, lads. Been following since week 1. Fantastic show every week. Makes it feel like I'm doing it with this group. Looking to finish the marathon in a decent time, but my mind's in between whether I'm cutting myself short or biting off more than I can chew. Couldn't think of another way to phrase it. Is it a case of going with how you feel on the day or pushing to make it a goal time? I had a 150 half marathon at a race pace earlier in the plan and aiming for sub 4 for the full, but everything online would say think otherwise. Just seeing what you think. Thanks again for the last few months. Would 100% be following along with your next endeavor. Sound. So I suppose the question really is, should he go for it on the day or should he be a bit more conservative?
Do you know what? I just have one question and a brief one. He says everything online. What was that part again? What was that? Everything online.
The online says he shouldn't or something. So
As in people, like when you put in your average, your estimated time.
For me, if you're doing a 150, you're definitely in. You'd be very much probably in a 4-hour shape.
145 to 150, yeah. Maybe.
I looked into this because I saw this question.
Yeah.
My first marathon was 3:58, and I ran a 1:57 half marathon 3 months before it.
Okay, so that gives them confidence then.
Yeah, I think if you have 150, I think you should go in with very good confidence. And again, we said this, I think, last week and the week before. I would go out at, roughly with the 4-hour pacers for the first couple of miles and then pick it up. And I can guarantee you will finish that a hell of a lot faster than 4 hours or 3:59 if you do it that way. But for me, if you're running a 150 half marathon, you are definitely in sub 4 shape.
Yeah, he should be.
Yeah, difficult to say. I just say difficult to say now because we don't know what the training was like. Obviously, if the mileage was in the training,
we're just basing it off the 150.
Yeah. If my memory serves me correct, and I think it's Olin, I think is a GA man and a Blarney man, which I won't hold against him. But he's a fit enough fella that it should be no issues. If he's running 150, then he's okay.
I would say, yeah. I think I would hold as long as I could with the 4, though. I think I'd get to halfway at least. Yeah. Finish strong. You lose so much if it goes against you. So somewhere in the middle. Yeah.
This is all considering he has the long runs done as well.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Andy. Yeah. Valid point. Fair point.
Okay, next one is from Paul Hutchinson. Great stuff, very informative and enjoyable. I somehow managed to put on weight over the last 16 weeks. It happens, I suppose.
Good God, 100%.
That could be muscle as well.
Yeah. Because remember, what? Muscle weighs more than fat. So you may, especially if you come from a slightly bigger building, when you are going running, you will turn a lot of fat into a bit of muscle and stuff like that. So the weight necessarily is not going to drastically drop off you straight away. So I would not read anything into that.
No.
And I would just go, right, let's just enjoy the day no matter what.
Yeah.
And well done for listening.
Okay, next one is from Faye Wright. What's your favorite thing about training for a marathon?
I'll take that.
You take that, Andy. Yeah.
One.
I just love long runs. I'm one of those weird people that love doing 20-mile sessions, to be honest. So I actually love doing long runs on a Sunday morning. That's my favorite. I've been early before the training over the actual marathon itself.
For me, it was doing the kind of Wednesday session, which would have been something like 4x5K with 1K float in between it, or the 6x4K or whatever, like them kind of longer sessions. I hated long runs. I preferred the session of kind of like long float recovery, go again, float recovery. I just used to love that session. Don't know why, but I hated the long runs, despised them.
I thought you were going to say visiting the saw doctor.
That's not great either.
Too many people would say that this week, that's for sure.
Yeah. Brian?
I think the long runs when you have company, when there's a nice group together, in particular the really long runs when the miles tick along quickly, and a cup of coffee afterwards and a chat always goes down well too. So company on the long runs, I think, is good.
Ken?
Yeah, just it's been years, but company on long runs and sessions are the important things.
Yeah. No, I do look at they are important. Is that it, Brian, or is there any more?
No, we've loads more.
Right.
Next one, is there a course preview of the 10K? I suppose we could say that for all the distances, really. Is there a course preview of the 10K half or full?
So yes, there is, and the best place to visit is the Cork City Marathon website, which will have every bit of information you're going to need, i.e. course maps, details of water stations, which I think there's another question, Brian, actually, is there another one for water stations? All the details, roughly water stations, and it'll preempt this question, is going to be roughly every 5K in and around that. So there's plenty of water stations out there, but and I mean this, it's so detailed, the website has everything that you need covered. If there's something you're not 100% sure of, give us a message, because we can message the lads in Cork to find out for you. But I'm pretty sure that everything you need to know is on the Cork City Marathon website.
And I would encourage people to that, because I could see it in years gone by, and even when I was getting ready for the Manchester Marathon myself there recently, the questions that come in and people are panicking and stressing, it's all on the website. Go to the website, Cork City, just type in Cork City Marathon. There's maps there, as you said. The maps have water stations, toilets, etc., gel stations, you name it.
Yeah.
Everything is there for the 3 distances, comments about pacing, etc., and all that. So go to the website if you have any questions at all.
Yeah.
There's a rumor you're pacing, Brian, is it?
I'm pacing, yeah. I'm pacing. I haven't been doing too much running, so I'm hoping to be pacing anyway. But yeah, I'm in with the 1:30 half marathon.
All right. And Andy, you pacing too, yeah?
I'm actually pacing a few of the lads that Kieran coaches for the last 6 miles. That's as much as I can do.
Yeah, I might be seeing around the 4-hour people pacing as well, because that's all I can handle these days.
But a question.
Is it?
Another question.
I might be seeing running the last 6 or 7 miles with a few people, I'd say.
Yeah. Right, last question.
Similar. Well, no, there's more, I think.
Was there?
Similar kind of question. Is it possible to collect the race numbers on the morning of the race?
No.
Okay. The only thing I would say, if people get into a bit of panic for whatever reason, maybe on the morning of the race, I would say head to the City Hall, which is kind of headquarters, if you need any last minute advice.
And I always say they're not going to see you, stressed or your beak or anything like that. So they will help you in some way, but there is no collection of numbers on the day. But head to Cork City Hall and they will endeavour to help you.
I think you might have answered this one already. Thanks again, lads. Question: is the Deep South after the marathon a ticketed event, or is it open to all marathon runners, club and public?
It's opened to every person, cat, dog, anybody that they want to. But again, as I said earlier, last year it did actually get so packed that they could not let people in at one stage. So be in as early as you possibly can to ensure that you're in there and you can enjoy it. There is a certain area which is now fully booked off, but there's plenty of areas to sit down or stand, and hopefully it's going to be nice weather and we're going to be outside in the beer garden.
If you say Brian, you might get in.
No, you actually won't, because honestly, honest to God, they tried that last year and they would not let anybody in. So they tried to name.
I have a question.
Yes.
Can anyone win the prizes? I'd really
not
like to
you, Andy.
Andy, you're because you came on here, Andy, you're excluded.
And you do realize that when we had our first couple of events, where we had prizes, you probably won like everything.
Yeah,
you had to be banned. Yeah.
That day in Silver Springs was a bit bad, all right, yeah.
You won a few there. Yeah.
That's why we brought him onto the podcast, Brian. Stop that. Right, anything else?
No, that's it. Done and dusted.
Okay, lads. All right. On a very serious note, a massive thank you again, Ken, for all the effort that you've done in the last 16 weeks. It's been immense. We really enjoyed it. In fairness, you've done this, as I said last week, you've done this out of the goodness of your own heart and your own time, because like us all, you're getting feck all for it.
It's all part of having fun.
But yeah, exactly. And I do think we do find this fun, and that's why people enjoy watching this as well, which I do think it is. Brian, thank you for turning up today. It's been, a
I think I
privilege
was
to see
13 out
you.
of 16, was I? I was kind of quite quick.
So you're nearly at Andy's numbers now, Albert.
He's just brought in for the taper section.
He's just wanted Andy.
I came back for the cool down.
That's it, yeah, exactly.
Oh.
Andy, thank you for joining us for the last couple of weeks. We gave the people what they wanted, so I'm expecting now the viewership to shoot up sky high now the fact that you are here because of Andy. But lads, thank you. It's been fun. I've actually really enjoyed it. And
Barry Scott wasn't here this week.
And Barry Scott was not here this week.
He might make an appearance, yeah.
But I'm editing this week, so we'll see.
Oh, he's not right because of that.
So we'll have.
I thought that was very funny.
I know. Look, I will be kind of now. A couple of things. Don't forget our competition. Subscribe and comment down below. Don't forget to Deep South, of course, and also more importantly, don't forget to tune into our podcast, which goes out on Mondays with all the latest news, results, fixtures, and very big interviews. So it's definitely worth listening, and we will answer your questions as well if you have any Cork Marathons. But lads, that's it. We're done.
Yeah, enjoy it, guys. Enjoy it.
And we see you all in the Deep South.
See you in the Deep South.